Breaking update as Charlie Kirk's assassin Tyler Robinson has officially completed his mental health evaluation inside the Utah County Jail. The results and what they mean and imply aren't looking good. And wait until you hear about a decision made by jail officials as to where Tyler will be housed within that jail due to the results of that mental evaluation. As someone who recently spent 10 years inside state prison myself, as well as 2 years in county jail, I'll tell you exactly what's going on, what it looks like with where he is now, and even what these mental health jailhouse evaluations look like and some of the questions they ask you. And finally, to close out, the attorney for Tyler Robinson has officially been announced just a few hours ago, and it's absolutely awful. I'll explain everything. Let's get started. So, a report has recently come out that seems to have slipped under the radar amidst all the saturation of Charlie Kirk and Tyler Robinson and the shooting updates with just everything going on. I mean, there's so much. No one really seemed to notice this. So I want to shine some light on it, and I think I'm the perfect person to do so. The headline here reads, Charlie Kirk assassination suspect Tyler Robinson remains in special housing unit despite completed mental evaluation. What does this mean? Let's just read the article first. The Utah County Sheriff's Office said the suspect accused of assassinating Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk remains within a, quote, special housing unit, aka the SHU, S-H-U, of a jail, even though his mental evaluation has been completed. Utah County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Ray Orman told Fox News Digital on Tuesday that Robinson saw mental and medical staff at the jail, but will remain within the special housing unit. Robinson has been, this is a quote, Robinson has been seen by our medical and mental health staff due to patient privacy regulations. I'm not able to go further into that, Orman said. Robinson will stay in our special housing unit for the time being. When asked if Robinson will remain in the special housing unit indefinitely, Orman said that's not set in stone and his housing location may change down the road. Previously, the law enforcement agency said Robinson would remain on a special watch status in the Utah County Sheriff's Department special housing unit so staff could, quote, keep an eye on him until he cleared a mental health screening. Special watch status is done for several reasons, including violent behavior, type of crime, S-word comments that I'm not allowed to say, and behavioral issues, the department says. Previously, the department said it wasn't aware of Robinson making any S-word comments. Former federal prosecutor Niyama Rahmani told Fox News Digital the mental health evaluation likely, quote, suggests that he should not be housed with the general population as Robinson remains within a special housing unit. A full mental health evaluation will be conducted by his defense team to try to negotiate a plea deal to save his life, to put on an insanity or diminished capacity defense during the guilt phase, which is challenging under Utah law, or to put on evidence of mitigation during the death penalty phase, Rahmani said. Very interesting, because what all I saw is a lot of deceptive, misleading wording and sentence structuring to. And let me just ask you, the viewer, based off the article I just read, it sounds like wherever Tyler Robinson has been being held within the Utah County Jail, sounds like he's going to stay there based off these quotes in this article in this report, right? Nothing has changed. Nothing to see here. Nothing to look further into. No major updates here. He's going to remain, he will remain within special housing. We're going to keep him on special housing. He will continue to be held within a special housing unit. He's been moved. He's been moved, and that is a major update, and I'll tell you why. This is misleading, very calculated press release comments. He's going to remain within a special housing unit. There are several variations of special housing units within all jails and all prisons. And trust me, I cannot reveal my source. They've asked me not to specifically, but I can tell you, they told me, quote, please don't say my name or who you got it from. But my suggestion is to say, I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth, quote, horse's mouth. So, I found a horse who works at that jail, and it came out of this horse's mouth, if you will. Tyler Robinson was being held on S-Watch, which S is just, I have to say that or I will be potentially striked. I've already had issues before where I didn't censor that word and I got videos removed and I got a strike on my channel. So don't get mad at me for censoring it. Hey, we all have a boss. My boss is YouTube and they say I'm not allowed to say that word. So on a live watch, and that's why you see him in court he's butt naked, wearing just what inmates refer to with the slang term, the turtle suit, because it looks like you have a turtle shell on. It's a dark green padding suit to cover yourself minimally. But yeah, that's where he was being held. Now, what he's been going through since the time of his arrest up until Tuesday, when this report came out. Yes, Tuesday. It is now Thursday. And you hadn't heard about it, have you? Because like I said, this kind of slid under all the other crazy. There's so much oversaturation of updates. Everyone's just hopping on and finding anything they can about anybody, anywhere, and any way tied to this case. So you didn't even get a real valuable update about the current status of the assassin, of the shooter. Maybe 5%, maybe some of you heard it, but most of you didn't even know, did you? He's been moved. But what he has been going through from the time of his arrest up until Tuesday, he's been butt naked except for this turtle suit in a cell. And according to my source at the Utah County Jail, all he is allowed while he is on S-Watch is this turtle suit. There is a toilet likely in his room. Okay. A mattress that is on the floor and a flame retardant blanket, a dark green flame retardant blanket in case he tries to light a fire and eliminate himself that way. Flame retardant blanket. Now, if Tyler Robinson was to do things or take certain actions or say certain things, verbalize these things to make any member of the staff at that jail believe that he was serious about eliminating himself from this planet, he would be moved to a more extreme version of S-Watch. That is where you don't get a toilet. You do have the hole in the floor. You don't get the blanket. You don't get the mattress. You have nothing. Okay. I don't believe he said anything based off the reports here. It says staff has reported they have not heard any statements from Tyler Robinson expressing that he wants to remove himself from this existence. I think the reason he was placed there in the first place is because the father came forward and turned him in and testified and wrote a statement verifying that he told him he would rather eliminate himself than get arrested and go to jail for what he's done. So they went off that, and the severity and high profileness of this whole thing placed him on S-Watch. But they gave him a toilet, a mattress, and a flame retardant blanket. He did not express anything because he has not been cooperative with cops. He has not said anything. He didn't do any interviews. He didn't confess. He's not saying anything to anybody. He's not talking. He's clamming up. And so he has not said anything to intensify this to where they moved him to where you don't get a toilet, you're pooping in a hole and you're peeing in a hole, and you don't get a blanket or a mattress. Right? That's coming from the horse's mouth, aka an employee of the Utah County Jail. For over, mind you, over 30 years. They've been working there over 30 years. They've seen it all. I'm 33. They've been working there just about as long as I've been on this freaking earth. So I'd say that's pretty reliable. Now, they also confirm for me, this verbiage is pretty deceptive in this press release update. They say, because mind you, I'm just explaining what he's been going through. Now he's no longer, I would put money on it. He's no longer going through that. He's been moved. He's been moved to a new location within that jail. And I even looked him up again. I'll show you proof here. I looked him up again. Now they have removed your ability to even see his mugshot photo. They say no photo was available. I made a video weeks ago looking him up in the same way, the same manner, on the same website, in the same jail institution. They had his mugshot. His mugshot is everywhere. Now it's gone. Jails and prisons don't like attention. They don't like a spotlight. They don't like eyes on them because things don't operate how they're supposed to in 90% of jails and prisons. They've removed his photo. Why? Why would you do? For what? That's just weird. But, it's not a big deal. It's not, it's not a huge deal. Oh, we can't get your photo. I guess you can go anywhere else on the internet and find past records of his mugshot. So it's not a super big deal, but it's just like, it begs the question, why? Why can I no longer see this mugshot? And what is the next piece of information you're going to withhold from the public as it should be updated and as it would be updated with any other regular inmate who is not in the national news and all over, the media? You wouldn't do that with anyone else. I mean, why? What do you have to hide? You want to cover what is happening here. And so they use very manipulative, deceptive wording in this interview. They say, he will remain on special housing unit. He will continue to be kept on special housing unit. We have decided that it is best for him to stay right there in the special housing unit. This makes one think, and you are perfectly normal for reading this and thinking, nothing has changed. He's going to stay exactly where he has been. And I just explained to you where he has been. Nope, it's changed. Do you see the deception? There are 3, 4, 5 different things that can be categorized within a jail or prison institution as special housing unit. You have S-Watch, you have Supermax, you have disciplinary isolation, you have protective custody, you have, all types of things. All of these fall under the umbrella of special housing unit. He's going to remain on special housing. Yes, but he's been moved from one area of special housing to a different area of special housing. And there are differences in his quality of life, his privileges, and his routine, his schedule, and people want to know about that. So quit trying to water it down and trick us. That's what I'm bringing to the people. That's what I'm doing with my 10-year experience. A lot of people, you brag about doing 10 years. You're proud to be a former convict. I'm not. I'm actually embarrassed. I go out there in my community and I engage with other people and they ask my story and what I do for a living, and I have to tell them about YouTube. What do you do on YouTube? I talk about this. Oh, well, are you a lawyer? Are you a judge? What qualifications? I mean, how did you get into true crime? Well, unfortunately, it's because I bring a unique angle from my experience of doing 10 years in prison, because I was once, when I was 20 years old, I was a big piece of crap. And I did awful, awful things, violent things. I committed armed robberies. I was awful. I was silly. I was stupid. I was a dummy. And people look at you different. You know, I'm not proud of it, but this is what I contribute to the true crime community. This is where I come in. This is where they're trying to fool you, and I see through it because I've been there and I know how they do. And I'm telling you, they're trying to make you think nothing's changed. Something has changed. He's been moved off of S-Watch and into Supermax. That still falls within the guidelines and labeling of Special Housing Unit, aka the SHU, S-H-U, SHU. Finally, here we have the headline from ABC: attorney appointed for Tyler Robinson, man charged with fatally shooting Charlie Kirk. A defense attorney has been appointed to represent Tyler Robinson, who is charged with shooting and killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk during an appearance at a Utah university earlier this month. Catherine Nestor, that's who it is, was chosen to represent Robinson under a contract with the Utah County Commission, which appoints lawyers for defendants who cannot afford private counsel. That's a fancy way of saying he got a public defender. His parents, mind you, the same ones who turned him in. Once he confessed to them what he did, his parents turned him in, and then over $1 million was raised for the family of Tyler Robinson. And they said, you know what? We don't need this. And furthermore, most importantly, we don't deserve this. If anything, you know what? We'll take the money. And we're going to send it to the family of Tyler Robinson. And send it to the family of Charlie Kirk, the real, true, only victim. That's what they said. Do you think for us? So it's not, yeah, doesn't surprise me. You confessed to us. We turned you in. $1 million was raised for us from the left, from these radical liberal Democrats. They said, okay, we'll take the money and send it to the actual victims, Charlie Kirk's family. And then here, oh, I need a lawyer to help me. Nope. Sounds like Tyler Robinson's family is refusing to pay for a lawyer. They're not going to pay for his crimes. We will not pay for the heinous acts that you have committed. Bravo. Can we take a moment to recognize, like, I respect the parents of Tyler Robinson so much, and so many times in these cases where you have a young person do such awful things, people are like, oh, it's the way he was raised. The parents, there's school shootings. All the parents gave him access to the guns, and just, the parents have done everything right here and righteous and justice. We turn them in. We turn down $1 million. How many people do you know in your life that turned down $1 million, not only turned it down, chose to send it to the family who was affected by your stinky little son's actions? And then on top of that, number 3, we're not gonna buy you a lawyer. We're not gonna get you a good lawyer. You're gonna get a public defender for a murder trial that is seeking the death penalty. That is, oh my gosh, the odds are ever so much stacked against you, and good. You deserve it. You deserve to have them stacked against you. That's what you get. That's what you've done. But a public defender is not. A public defender is like making just enough to get like a large Starbucks coffee and maybe a bagel every morning for taking on your case. You think they're going to effectively defend you and dedicate their life to getting you out of the death penalty? Don't think so. And you know what? Again, going back, I don't think Tyler Robinson even cares. I don't think, oh, you can't get me out of being executed. That's fine. I want to be executed. But his problem, my opinion, his problem with that would be it's going to take minimum 10, 15, 20 years before I'm executed, probably by a firing squad. Because Utah is one of the, like, I can count on one hand how many states do firing squad as a method of execution for death row inmates. He probably does want that to happen, but he don't want to wait 10, 15, 20 years. He knows he's screwed. I guarantee you, he is, now that he has been moved off of S-Watch and into Special Housing Unit, which is Supermax, he's still by himself. He's still alone. He still doesn't get time with other inmates. He comes out maybe every 2-3 days in cuffs on your wrists and your ankles. So you're piddly winking along down the hallway into the shower. Then the shower is locked with a padlock. And you can shower. And then you have to wait for the CO to finish his burger from McDonald's to come around and let you out and bring you back. He's not going to have a chance to do it. But now that he is on Supermax, the highest, just super max, maximum security, Special Housing Unit, the SHU. He will not be around other inmates. Every 2 to 3 days, he will be allowed out of his cell, highly constricted, to take a shower. But other than that, here's the main point. He will get a regular jumpsuit. He won't wear a turtle suit. He'll get the orange or whatever the standard color in that county is. Jumpsuit, socks, boxers, uniform, bed sheets, mattress, metal bed, towels, washcloths, toilet, other things. All things that he can use to himself if he really wants to. And I think he really does. He expressed to his father, I would rather eliminate myself from this universe than get arrested. He got arrested. And, once you get arrested, I mean, hey, man, you might think, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'd never let this happen. I'd never let it come to this point. But once they get you and close in on you and, you're freaked out and they, get down, hands behind your back. A lot of stuff changes, but he's had plenty of time to think about, this is very big. I'm very hated. I'm screwed. I got a public defender. My parents don't support me. I have no financial support. I'm screwed. I could totally see him now that he's been moved 2 days ago into a unit where he has bed sheets. That's the important thing. He now has bed sheets. That is where these are cheap bed sheets. Trust me. I'm telling you as someone who I was told by my lawyer, they don't want to give you anything less than 10 years. I was 20 years old. Telling me 10 years is the minimum that I'm facing as a 20-year-old. That's half the life I've been on earth. I thought that was the end of my life, and I'm so glad I didn't go through and I was not successful with what I wanted to do. 10 years at the age of 20, half the life I've been on this earth. I ripped my flimsy little bed sheets in half and braided and knotted and twisted a noose, a hangman's noose for me. And I went and I tied it around the bar in the shower where you put your towel. And I tried over 15 times to take myself out, and every time I didn't have the guts or wherewithal to do it and go through with it. And I'm glad I didn't. This day, I'm glad I didn't, but I certainly tried. And mind you, I was never facing anything as serious or extreme as Tyler Robinson. I think Tyler is going to make an attempt. He's going to use these bed sheets and extra cloth material privileges to fashion something that will cause his demise. And I think you will hear about it in the next 2 months. Because I don't think they just did this Tuesday. It's Thursday. I'm recording this video. I don't know when you're seeing this. It might be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday in September. Today is the 25th. I'm recording this video. I'm telling you, he will not do anything. He just got moved here 2 days ago on the 24th, 23rd, whatever. He's going to wait a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. People, he's been here a while, almost a month. I'm not going to pay as much. I'm not going to keep as keen of an eye on him. He's a high profile inmate. I'm not going to watch him as closely and that seriously. And he notices that because he has nothing else to preoccupy his time with other than what the COs notice about him. And how can he play when the COs come by? COs means corrections officers. The staff of the jail, when they come by, I'm reading a book, I'm taking a poop, I'm praying, I'm reading the Bible. I mean, I used to do this all the time. Every time the COs would come by, I would pretend to be drawing a piece of art. That's a hobby a lot of inmates get into. So I'd be drawing a fucking thing. Sorry to cuss, but I would, and they'd be like, "Yep, that seems normal." Inmate trying to learn art, and they move on. As soon as they move on, I put my pen and pad down. I pick my contraband cell phone back up, and I get on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I mean, anything. I start texting girls. I just whatever. Yeah, that's how it goes. So, I think after 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. I'll guarantee, here's my guarantee. Before 2026, by the end of this year, 2025, we will see a headline. Tyler Robinson tried to take himself off of the earth. Tried to eliminate himself. We will see that. That's my prediction. Let me know. I mean, if you think I'm wrong, let me know and let me know why. I welcome it. I won't censor you. Tell me in the comments. If you agree, please also let me know that in the comments. I want to know what my community thinks and how they feel about what I'm saying. So please feel free, no matter, you're wrong or you're right. Jumpsuit Pablo. Here's what I have to say. Please say it. You will not be deleted by me, censored or banned or anything by me. Let me know. Other than that, there's your daily update for the Charlie Kirk assassin, and I will see you next time.